Hello everyone and welcome to episode 66 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel, as it is the World Tag League. And what a way to end out 2023 though with this Tag League, because I think it's going to be pretty solid. As far as I will say, could have been better, just as far as there are some champions that have been in, as far as that are in teams that I didn't want to have in this, but really, other than one team, which we'll talk about once we run through the lineup, that could have been in this, everybody else I'm super happy that they're in. As for the tournament standings, it looks like this are 10 teams. Number 1, Dragon's Den, as that is Hayato Tamura, Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, they have been a pretty fun team as of late. Of course, Hayato Tamura being involved is pretty awesome. Could have had, obviously, Bryan and Tamura as a team, but obviously Bryan's taking on Josh Alexander at the final show, so couldn't really do that. Golden Ace, Kota Ibushi, Hiroshi Tanahashi back again in this tag league, because I believe they were not in last year's tag league. Just take a quick look. No, they were not. It was Tanahashi and Shibata, so they're back again for this year's tag league. Of course, Golden Ace, what a team. Tanahashi, Ibushi. Sure, could we have had astronauts here? Sure, could we have had even Ibushi and Takuya Nomura in there? Absolutely. But Golden Ace, what a team. As far as Tanahashi losing the Never Openweight title as of late, as far as, recently, and to have, as far as their focus being on the tag league here, it's going to be pretty awesome to see. Jay White and Miro, of course, Vows of Torture, Justice of Juice Robinson and Hanare, Lucha Brothers making their debut in the tag league for the first time. Of course, a team that has dominated the junior division in this series, moving up to the heavyweight tag league, which, my God, you got some big-ass heavyweights in here. Like the next team, Alexander Hammerstone and Jeff Cobb of Kingdom of Strong Style. Major team there. They are fucking massive as far as size-wise. We'll see how they do as far as in this tag league, because there's some tough teams, obviously. And they're maybe as far as maybe a bit underpowered as far as maybe star power and maybe as far as major wins. But size-wise, major fucking team. Next team, of course, are tag team champions, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, a team that has been champions for almost 365 days. What a run they have had. 8 defenses going to this tag league. They were in it last year, and it's hard to believe that they are here in this tag league, which so many fucking other great teams are in this, though. Like, that Hiromu Naito versus Golden Ace team will be a hell of a match. And, as far as they've beaten some of these teams that they have, already faced. As far as, like, they faced the Lucha Brothers as of late. They've beaten the Order of Destruction, the Young Bucks. But they also, as far as have, you never really know. It's a tag league. Anything can happen. You have these tough-ass teams that are vying for a chance to be in a Wrestle Kingdom matchup. And they are putting everything out there. And they're going to go balls to the wall to try to beat the tag champs, obviously, because depending on what happens, obviously, you get a tag team title matchup potentially in 2024. But, man, for the Young Bucks in United Rage, as far as to round up the group, the Young Bucks have done just about everything in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but they are still, as far as being involved in this tag league, wanting to be in Wrestle Kingdom, wanting to be in a major matchup would be massive for them, and, of course, United Rage, as far as United Empire might be looking to have a major night for Wrestle Kingdom. Of course, we know Zack Sabre Jr. is in the main event against Nakamura. We also going to have Gresham and Makabe defending their junior tag team titles against Mexa Blood. A lot of, as far as you have a lot of potential there. If Josh Alexander beats Bryan Danielson, there's a U.S. title matchup there. A lot could still happen, as far as a lot can still happen for the United Empire, but that would be a massive way to usher in the new year as new heavyweight champ, tag team champs, and as if Bryan Danielson loses to Josh Alexander and Josh, defends his title successfully at Wrestle Kingdom, then, as the U.S. champion as well, would be major. And if the junior tag team champions and Makabe and Gresham keep their belts, would be a major way to show that they're, the big force of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let's get right into the show, though, because we have 9 shows to run through. A couple of them have already been pre-booked as far as all the way through, because obviously we just have to add one match to the opener which we're going to have Masquerade Dorada and Riley take on Kashi Yamato and Kushida to kick off the tour. What a match, though. We have, as far as Satoshi Kojima passing a microphone or two here out tomorrow, but we have a hell of a matchup in the main event, which will be Hiromu and Naito against Lucha Brothers in a rematch. What a match that shall be. But also the Young Bucks and Golden Ace are on this card as well, which that's a hell of a co-main event, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I mean, as far as the Task Force Death team being the Lucha Brothers is pretty interesting, because obviously we could have had two, Task Force Death teams, like, as far as having Kenta and Doring, or even, as far as Pac can't be in it, obviously, because he's hurt, but just, what could have been. But, of course, the Chaotic Pitbull's not going to be involved either. Could have had a Chaos team, as far as not talking about Joe Doring, but obviously, as far as could have had Joe Doring and Ashino, but could also had, Kenta and Kingston as well, instead of Justice, but just felt like Justice deserved it as well in that same breath, but just kind of talking out loud about what could have been. But yeah, we're back in the Tokyo Dome. I think that's probably actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we could probably run somewhere else to at least give some limelight as far as elsewhere. Could run the Toyota Stadium. Would be pretty nice to see. I don't think we'll run anywhere that's... I mean, we got the Sapporo Dome, but even then... Yeah, I think... we could also run the PayPay Dome. Didn't even think about that. Another 40,000-seater. Yeah, we rarely run the PayPay Dome. Let's do it. Might as well. Go big, go big or go home. But, yeah, Hiromu, Naito, Lucha Brothers. What a matchup here. And it will be a upset... quote-unquote, but this is going to be a hell of a matchup. Of course, these two teams, it was a 99 at the Autumn Attack show. So to have this rematch, have the Lucha Brothers beat the Tag Team Champions, major win. Major win, and of course there's the Tag League, or not even just the Tag League, the League curse of having the champions lose on the first night as well, so it's all fun. What a fun way to have as far as to kick off the tour. The Young Bucks against the Golden Ace, though, and what a team this is, though, in Golden Ace, and what a match this is for the Young Bucks to have against the Golden Ace. Now, the Young Bucks did beat them earlier, as far as the last time they've really faced off was in 2022 at the Wrestle Dynasty show, which the Bucks won, and, of course, the Dominion show, which Golden Ace won, so it's been a while since they have faced off as far as in 2v2 action. So to bring that back and have Tanahashi get a win as well, it's pretty awesome to see. We'll go with... I love that Dragon's Den United Rage match. Probably shouldn't have that be so high up, but Heihachi Tamura is going to get the win for Dragon's Den. Justice versus Miro and Jay White's probably the best bet. Actually be right there. Jay White's going to beat Juice. That's a great win for House of Torture, though. 2 points on the board. Then Hammerstone and Cobb against the Order of Destruction, setting this for Steal the Show. As the Order of Destruction will beat the Kingdom of Strong Style, but these are just two big-ass teams beating the shit out of each other is what we're wanting there. Technical Masterclass matchup as Mascara Dorada will be beating Kashi Yamato there. Of course, Dorada taking on Kushida at Wrestle Kingdom. What a match that shall be. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully that's a banger of a matchup. We'll see how this first show runs. There's 74. Kashi Yamato and Kushida are a terrible team, though. But Ryu Lee with an 84, 52 for Mascara Dorada. Obviously, Ryu Lee, the man, killing it there. But the Corkscrew Senton Bomb there from Dorada on Kashi Yamato. Next matchup, Order Destruction beating the Hammerstone Jeff Cobb team. As what a win, though, for Hobbs and Tankman. 86-81, Doomsday Plunge for Will Hobbs over Jeff Cobb. Good shit there. And 89 for United Rage vs. Dragons. And I should have more faith in it. Two teams with excellent chemistry. Killing it. Loving that, though. Heihachi Tamura with the Hayato driver over Katsuya Kinemura. I mean, this is very, very close. But, the right decision, I think, all around to have Heihachi Tamura get the win with Kyle O'Reilly. But very close. Very, very close. Good stuff. Oh, a 66 as a fibula fracture for Hanare. And that will be interesting as far as Juice Robinson now. Will we see a new person join Justice? or will they forfeit the rest of their matches, is the question there. But the Blade Runner for Jay White over Juice Robinson, terrible. Absolutely terrible that happens on the first day of the tour. 97, though, for the Golden Ace versus Young Bucks matchup as High Fly Flow from Tanahashi over Matt Jackson, as Golden Ace got the win in 27:04. What a win, though, for Golden Ace. In our main event of 98, the Lucha Brothers beating Hiromu and Naito. What a win there, as Ray Phoenix pinning Hiromu after the package pile driver and foot stomp combination. Love it. Absolutely love it. Ray Phoenix, best guy in the match. First of all, Phoenix and Hiromu, obviously, what a match that is, but I felt like that was the best way to have, that LIJ team and to have the tag champs lose to the Lucha Brothers here. Just makes sense. And yeah, I mean, obviously, we should have flipped this and this, but other than that, hell of a show. Very, very pleased with how that paid off, as we will go with Hiromu, and then, I guess, we can go Naito, we can go Hail Tamura, we can go a lot of different options. I think we're going to go with, we should go with, as far as probably Tanahashi or even Ibushi, because they killed it, as far as that matchup as well. Good shit, though. Hell yeah. What a way to kick off the Tag League. Massive stuff there, as we will catch you guys for day 2. We'll take a look at the standings, obviously, after the first 4 days to see how everything plays out. And so far, as far as the injury does suck, but potentially this could be somebody's major opportunity, and we'll just have to kind of look and see if we could have an audible be played out, or if in fact they will have to forfeit the rest of their matches. Alrighty, so some major developments, as they will not be forfeiting their matches, as Justice has there's been a bit of a I wouldn't say repackaging, but a bit of a, I guess, addition, you could say. Maybe just a more fleshed out idea is probably the better wording of it. But Shibata is passing on psychology tips to SP Kento. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Of course, that man is back from excursion. So the main event, though, it's got to be Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks. Like, it's got to be. It's a time limit draw, 30 minutes. Obviously, I don't think we need to sell this match too much, but they've had a couple of matches in the past. The Bucks were up 2-1 in the series. Of course, they had the AEW Dynamite matchup, but really in New Japan, it's 1-1. So that's why we did, the 1-1-1. But it's I think it's definitely the right choice. It's crazy to think they haven't wrestled in a couple of years, too. Should be a good idea to have this matchup be a time limit draw, so 1 point each. Then we're going to have Dragon's Den versus Hiromu and Naito, as Naito's going to beat Kyle O'Reilly in 23 minutes. That's a nice win for LIJ, of course, bouncing back after losing night 1. Order of Destruction versus Golden Ace. What a match this is. And the Order of Destruction get the win as well. Hobbs is going to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi. What a win, though, for Hobbs. Jesus Christ. Then Jay White and Miro against Alexander Hammerstone and Jeff Cobb, as Miro's going to beat Jeff Cobb. And United Rage against the Court of Justice. Tai Chi. He's back. We brought him up from ZMLL. And, basically the idea, Court of Justice, obviously, the play on that. But we want him to, honestly, I like the idea of the Masquerade in there with Tai Chi. And as far as the aviator glasses, the shades there. But kind of a bit of the Court of the Owls, as far as a Court of Owls feeling to this, where you have, as far as Tai Chi being the revealed, as far as, we're going to have, a video for this, but kind of the reveal that he's been the man behind Justice, as far as wanting to prove the injustice of what happened to him in New Japan. And it's been, that's the big kind of reveal, and he's now revealing himself when he's needed, now that, as far as the Court of Justice, it needs to be shown in the light. So it's nice that we get to kind of add to Justice a little bit, because for a little bit, basically since they've debuted, they're here for, to right the wrongs of injustice in New Japan. It's like, alright, And that's a solid idea, but that was basically it. Now we understand why. We now understand that it's much deeper than just obviously Juice and RA and just the levels of this, though. Because the Court of Justice, the idea taken from the Court of House, this secret society of the elite, not the elite, of the Bucks, but of basically the higher ups of New Japan in a way. The idea that Tai Chi is a part of this, and as far as kayfabe wise, the money behind it, and is the idea of looking to right the wrongs of that. But there's also potentially others that have been wronged, obviously, by New Japan throughout the time. So potentially, could see being, as far as there could be more revealed over the next couple of months or even years at this point. But, it's a fun, I think, addition there. And I think it's a more fleshed out idea. And that same time. But also, we're going to have the opener, House of Nokiism, The Foundation, 8-man tag. Shibata's going to be King Mo. Nice to have a Lockhart on this card as well, but obviously the House of Nokiism team should get the win there. They should be the better team. But yeah, we will be running, as far as obviously with the such a, the turnaround being so soon, it's, I think we're just going to run, since we ran the pay dome on the first night, I think the second night just run either the convention center, or even this, we should probably run the convention center. Probably for the best, 6,500. Be a little under capacity, but still should be a pretty good show as well. It's 59 for the opener. House of Enochiism, definitely better than the Foundation team. Lockhart with a 41, that is terrible to see. King Mo and Shelton Benjamin, low 40s as well. Shibata with a cross arm bar over King Mo, though. 73 for the Great Okan versus the Court of Justice. As Tai Chi's return, he gets someone with the Tai Chi clutch over Katsuya Kitamura. We had to roll the dice a little bit with this, because obviously we don't know if Tai Chi and Juice were going to have like chemistry or not. Thank God they don't have negative chemistry, but was hoping maybe luck of the draw would come our way. But, got the crowd buzzing. So there is that. Stole the show, quote unquote. As Jay White Miro beating Cobb and Hammerstone as the Bullplex for Miro over Alexander Hammerstone in 2002. Not bad. Not bad at all. 89, though, for Golden Ace and the Order of Destruction. What a match here. Very close, though, 78s and 80s for Order of Destruction and Golden Ace. Kind of can't believe it got an 89, to be honest. I think it's just from the crowd riding a tremendous wave of momentum. Hobbs is going to beat Tanahashi with the Doomsday Plunge, though. What a win for the Order of Destruction. And our co-main event, the 74. Hiromu and Naito beating Hayato Tamura and Kyle O'Reilly. Fun match, though. As far as Naito getting along with Destino of Kyle O'Reilly. Makes sense. In an 89 for our main event, time limit draw. Right decision. I think the time limit draw worked best for this matchup. And 1 point each for the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. Not a bad show. Not a bad show at all. Especially for a tour show. Can't really beat that. As on to day 3 we go. Alrighty, day 3, as backstage incident, South Black Taurus. And Narushi Tanahashi, as Black Taurus is brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of moaning about stuff all the time, but I'm gonna South. Finally, hard to believe, as the judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him get the incidents of shut up or cheer up and buy drinks after the show. Yeah, first of all, Black Taurus is the man. I don't need that disrespect on his name like that. So, the main event for this night, the Order of Destruction Young Bucks match, I don't know what that, as far as that, is very enticing. I think we should have that be the main. As Calvin Tankman going to get the win for the Order of Destruction over the Young Bucks. Of course, they've had some mini matches over the time period of this save. I would say they had the best Super Juniors finals, but that was the 6 or 8-man, the Dark Order matchup. But the Tag League match has been pretty solid as far as Disciples of Darkness have usually won. They had a Wrestling Juntaku match. But as far as usually the Bucks have been winning as of late. But the Autumn Attack matchup, that was a solid little matchup last year. Got an 85. But they see the Order of Destruction get a win here. Very nice to see. We'll have a decisive win for Calvin Tankman. As the Order of Destruction, major win. Golden Ace vs. Jay White and Miro. What a win for the House of Torture team. As Jay White's going to beat Kota Ibushi in 25 minutes. That is a massive win for Jay White. We will then go with the Lucha Brothers Dragon's Den matchup. Hayato Tamura will get the win for Dragon's Den over Pentagon Jr. That's going to be 23 minutes. And then the tag team champions, Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito, taking on the Court of Justice. As the Court of Justice, listen, they won in their first match together, but they're going to lose here as Naito's going to get the win. Doesn't really say who it's going to be, so it could be Taichi, could be Juice. We'll just kind of wait and see. Then the Steel the Show matchup between the hossiest of hoss teams in this tag league, as the Kingdom of Strong Style are going to beat United Rage, as Hammerstone's going to beat Katsuya Nomura. That's going to be an upset for sure. And to kick off the show, it's a 6-man tag. Bryan Danielson, Sho, and Garcia of Dragon's Den taking on United Empire of Josh Alexander, Gavin McGavin, and Drew Gulak, as Sho is going to beat Gavin McGavin in 20 minutes. As we're going to run the show. Well, I went to the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I think we're just going to run the Walk-In Professional Gym. Just play it safe. And we'll run it. It's 71 for the opener. Figure it's going to be a pretty solid opener with Bryan Danielson being involved. Literally 84. Everybody else, as far as around the same ratings-wise. But Sho does get the submission with the Dragon Sleeper over Gavin McGavin, which he was 3 points better than. So there is that. But I'm glad the Dragon's Den team got the win. Yeah, as Okan and Katsuya Nomura, 70-74. They should have won. But Hammerstone with the Stonebreaker, he's getting better. Getting better. As he's almost in the 60s, which is good. It's good stuff. He just needs, some chemistry boost to help him out a little bit. Much like how Okan and Kitamura have. Helps him out. Just makes things easier. But got the crowd buzzing for this next matchup. I mean, Juice almost outperformed Tetsuya Naito, which is crazy to think. Obviously, this tour show, it's a little bit wonky as far as the ratings-wise. But Naito is obviously declining, but still, it's pretty crazy. But Taichi doesn't get involved in the finish, which is kind of nice to see, to be honest. Naito beating Juice to Destino. I think that was the right decision. So I got an 84. Pentagon Jr. breaks his toe in this next matchup. Injuries. Just fucking us here, this tag league. It's Hayato Tamura getting the one with the just face lock over Pentagon Jr. The right decision. It was pretty close, but I think it was the right decision to have the Dragon's Den team get the win. Hayato Tamura is the one who caused the broken toe. Just great. Very, very close. But if we would have went with Miro over Tanahashi, it would have been exactly the same as far as 78s there. But very close. Jay White with the Blade Runner win over Kota Ibushi, getting the upset win. I think it was the right decision. So far, this has been a very good show, especially with the tour ratings. And at 86 for the main event, it's very, very close again, but Order of Destruction were the better team slightly. But that's just a great matchup for those. This team, they're just very much like polar opposites of each other. And somehow it gels together well a lot of times. And it's very nice to see that show went very, very well. 85 will gladly take that. No problem at all. As we're almost at the halfway point of the tour. Just like that. Just felt like we just sat down to start. And we're already at the halfway point. We just have to take a look at, as far as the standings after day 4. See how everything's playing out. Really the big thing is just dealing with injuries now. We were thrown a curveball at the beginning. We luckily bounced back and I think even made Justice better. But now, Pentagon Jr. being hurt, luckily it's just a broken toe. He should be fine, but you never know with these things. It could be a couple of days. Not exactly sure when the next day is. It's tomorrow. Pentagon Jr., he's going to work through that broken toe basically throughout the tour, which is tough to see, but we got some morale issues to deal with as well. Jesus says, on to day 4 we go. Alrighty, day 4, as backstage at Sun again. It's Alex Reynolds this time being brought before Wrestlers Court. I guess the Dark Order just bumming everyone else out. I find that very, very hard to believe. But as far as Tanahashi found him guilty and sends him to shut up or cheer up and buy drinks after the show. But yeah, for this show, very interesting because there's not really, I think, a clear-cut main event. You know what I mean? Maybe this Miro Jay White Order of Destruction matchup. Maybe. Or the Dragon's Den Young Bucks matchup. Depending on what you're kind of... I'm going to go with this just because I would love, Miro and Tankman / Hobbs in the same ring. You love to see it, but gets them a win. And the order of destruction, they were 3-0 up at this point. So this is basically stopping the undefeated streak of basically every team. As far as I believe, off the top of my head, we'll take a look, obviously, once this show is over. But that's a massive win for Jay White and Miro. Young Bucks are going to beat the Dragon's Den team as the Bucks beat Kyle O'Reilly. Nick Jackson's going to beat Kyle O'Reilly. I feel like that's the right decision there. But that should be a hell of a matchup, though. Nonetheless, this is a great match, too. United Rage and Golden Ace. Like, I know it doesn't seem like a great match on paper, but they're going to do very, very well. Probably shouldn't be a steal the show match, but giving Tanahashi the win. Probably over Katsuki Nomura, if I had to guess. As Hiromu and Naito against Alexander and Jeff Cobb as the Kingdom of Strong Style, as Naito's going to beat Alexander Hammerstone. And the Lucha Brothers against the Court of Justice. We probably could have this. Yeah, we're going to have this be the Steel Show matchup. Executive decision time. As Juice going to get the win over Pentagon Jr. Court of Justice getting a win. How about that massive upset there for that team? As, yeah, now we're going to give this way more time, because this is going to be a banger. 23 minutes. Oh, I'm an idiot. Regular. There we go. Slow build. We all know the gist by now. Perfect. Kind of want to give that a little bit more time. This Bucks Dragon's Den matchup. Give it 22 minutes. It's a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. Now the opener, though, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia versus Alexander and Corey Jarvis. As Josh Alexander going to beat Daniel Garcia, so a little win back for the United Empire after losing the opener of night 3, or day 3, rather. But yes, so the tournament standings. So Jay White and Miro are going to be the only undefeated team left. So they will have 8 points. That is a massive start for the House of Torture team. Tanahashi and Ibushi is going to jump up to 4. Dragon's Den staying at 4. As Hiromu and Naito are going to jump up to 6. Young Bucks are jumping up to 3. United Rage, though, still haven't had their first win yet. Tough break there. But luckily, there's still a lot of time left in the tournament. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid, as far as to have Jay White and Miro being at the top. Makes a lot of sense. They've done really well as of late. Obviously, Hiromu and Naito, and obviously the Order of Destruction. It's been interesting. I don't think a lot of people expected the Young Bucks to only have 3 points, 4 nights in. Same thing for potentially Lucha Brothers with 3 points in 4 nights. But it's been a lot of upsets already so far, which is nice to see. Yeah, Chubu, hell yeah. We'll run the Toyoshi General Gymnasium for day 4. 74 for the opener. Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia losing to Josh Alexander and Corey Jarvis. The purple plunge for Josh Alexander in 20 minutes. The Canadians of the United Empire getting the win. 75. Lucha Brothers versus the Court of Justice. Big injury toll there for Pentagon Jr. It was tough to see, but they still outperformed them. It was a little closer this time because of the injury. So at least there's that. It was a believable upset, I would say, with the Court of Justice getting the win. Hiromu and Naito beating Cobb and Hammerstone, which Hammerstone's now in the 60s. Awesome. Naito beating Hammerstone with the Destino in 20 minutes. Cobb should be taking a little bit more losses here, but that's alright. A 74. Oh, we forgot to turn off All Out on the pacing. Great. God damn it. At least it's still a pretty good little matchup, but Ibushi and Tanahashi getting the win with the high fly flow. Tanahashi with the Great Okan. It sucks that we kept All Out on. God, I just can't believe that. 82, though, for the Young Bucks Dragon's Den matchup, as very, very close, actually. Nick Jackson and Adam Moore did the same. But Nick Jackson with the Meltzer Driver, pinning, Kyle O'Reilly after the Meltzer Driver, 22-19. It's a good match. Good little matchup there. 84 for the main event. Right decision to have this be the main. Pretty close, but, an upset. Miro with the Bullplex over Will Hobbs. At least he outperformed Will Hobbs, so that makes sense. And that was a solid matchup. I mean, really solid show, to be honest. Everything light green. Can't beat that. As on to day 5 we go. Alrighty, day 5. As we'll take a look at the standings again after day 6, since that'll be a good little halfway point. But for this main event, man, it's got to be this, though. Golden Ace Hiromu, Naito, what a match. Right before the 30-minute mark, Hiromu's going to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi to get those 2 points, massive 2 points there for LIJ. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Young Bucks versus Jay White and Miro. They keep on winning House of Torture. I mean, that is just an incredible win for that team, as Jay White's going to beat the Young Bucks in 23 minutes. I'm not sure which one they'll pin, if it's going to be Matt or Nick. We'll just kind of leave it up to the game to decide. Order Destruction versus United Rage, of course. Fuck yeah. To steal the show. United Rage getting their first win. They beat the Order of Destruction as the Great Khan getting the win. Doesn't matter who's it going to be against, if it's going to be Hammerstone, or if it's going to be Hammerstone, if it's going to be Calvin Tankman or Will Hobbs. But speaking of Hammerstone and Cobb against the Lucha Brothers. Jeff Cobb going to get the win over Pentagon Jr. Kingdom of Strong Style getting that win. That is nice for them. Court of Justice, Dragon's Den, as Tai Chi's going to beat Kyle O'Reilly in 20 minutes. What a win for the Court of Justice. And then to kick off the show, tag team matchup, Okada and Rocky American, Sonata and Bushi. Of course, Okada versus Sonata. Big stuff there. You know, that is massive as far as that matchup that's going to take place at Wrestle Kingdom for the Intercontinental title. Should be a banger. As far as the build up to that, obviously, with a little tag match. How are we doing? Oh, Justin King being used too much. I was about to say, what's going on here? Let that be Red Shoes. I know it's going to be weird to run Chubu again, but we'll run the Nagoya Congress Center. So just ran the Toyoshi General Gymnasium for days 4 and then now 5. Let's run it. Okada and Rocky losing to Sonata and Bushi. I think that was the right decision. Obviously, Sonata and Bushi are actually a pretty good team. That excellent chemistry boost as Sonata the Skull End over Rocky. Good stuff. Got to a strong start. 78 again. Tomorrow and Kyle O'Reilly against Juice and Tai Chi. The upset win as Tai Chi beating Kyle O'Reilly. What a pop. This Juice was off his game as well. That what an upset for the Court of Justice as Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, Lucha Brothers losing to the Kingdom of Strong Style. Jeff Cobb tore the islands on Pentagon Jr. Throwback to Lucha Underground there. Fucking Matanza beating Pentagon Jr. But yeah, some good stuff there. Decent little matchup. Obviously, Ray Phoenix being the carrier of that one. And then a 74 for the Order of Destruction versus the United Rage. United Rage getting the win as the Great O'Khan with the Cobra Clutch over Will Hobbs. It was close, at least 74-77, but obviously Ketsuya Kitamura was a little bit below everybody else. It was a good win, though, for the Great O'Khan. If we're going to look from a singles perspective, 85 for the Bucks against Miro and Jay White. Jay White, the Blade Runner, over Matt Jackson. 73s there from Jay White and Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson was the best guy in the match, but it's a good match. Very good match there. We'll gladly take that. And an 86 for the main. Ibushi and Tanahashi beating Naito and Hiromu. Or was either, Hiromu rather, beating Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi with Naito as the, it was an upset. It was a slight upset for, as far as, I mean, Hiromu at least was the best guy in the match. He gets the win. But it's crazy to think that, first of all, this is a great main event to have, as far as each, as far as you're talking former heavyweight champions, you're talking former, most of them, in the save, I'd say have been Intercontinental champions. I mean, you're talking about, if you're talking about the elite of New Japan, definitely these four make up a good bit of the top echelon of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's a great main event to have, for sure, and it's a great match. Great match there. As, we could have went with Golden Ace, though. Probably getting the win, and it would have been no problem. It's a tough break. Tough break, though. But that's a great show again. I mean, we're really rolling with this tournament. That is for sure. As, we'll take a look and see the standings after this night coming up. Day 6. But so far, this has been a bit of a free-for-all. A lot can still happen. A lot of time left. As far as a lot of matches left. A lot of big-time matches left. To see who will be the final two teams in the finals. Competing to see who's going to take on the tag champs at Wrestle Kingdom. Alrighty, day 6. Backstage incident. Yuji Takada as I go on microphone work to the Great O'Khan as our main event. Man, it sucks that Pentagon Jr.'s hurt, because that's a hell of a main right there. We will go with Hiromu and Naito against the Order of Destruction, though, as the main. As Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman are beating the tag team champions, as Will Hobbs is going to be beating whichever one of Hiromu and Naito. Now, they have had, they had the Tag League win last year. Of course, we had then the Wrestle Kingdom match, and then the follow-up matchup. So to wait so long, almost the entire year, for another matchup between these two teams, I think it's perfect for this, and to have the Order of Destruction get a win as well. Love it. Absolutely love it. We'll go with United Rage versus Jay White and Miro, as the Great Okan stops the House of Torture team dead in its tracks, as Okan's going to beat Jay White, too. That's a major win for the Great Okan. We will go with the Bucks in Court of Justice. Nick Jackson pinning Tai Chi there. Pretty straightforward stuff. Lucha Brothers versus Golden Ace. Straightforward stuff. Ibushi over Ray Fenix, so that's a huge win for Golden Ace. So we'll have that just be Jado. Fuck it. Dragon's Den versus Hammerstone and Jeff Cobb. Steal the show matchup as Cobb and Hammerstone beating the Dragon's Den team. As Jeff Cobb pinning Kyle O'Reilly. It's a big win for the Kingdom of Strong Style. Then House of Black versus Leona Fujinami, Raisuke Taguchi, Robbie Eagles, and El Kukui getting the win as El Kukui pinning Raisuke Taguchi. Straightforward stuff. We're rocking and rolling. Let's see where we're going to pick the venue at. I believe, the Sendai Sun Plaza will be it. And we are rolling out of day 6 as Robbie Eagles and El Kukui, of course, getting the win. They were the better team. Makes sense. El Kukui pinning Raisuke Taguchi with the Shooting Star Press. Hell yeah. 74 for Dragon's Den versus Hammerstone and Cobb. Upset. And Kyle O'Reilly with a 70, though. It's nice to see Tour of the Islands from Jeff Cobb over Kyle O'Reilly in 12 minutes. Brutal. Brutal performance from Jeff Cobb. As the Lucha Brothers losing the Golden Ace. Ibushi with the Phoenix Splash in 23-32. It's a great win for Golden Ace. 82 for the Court of Justice versus the Young Bucks, as Nick Jackson with the Meltzer Driver over Tai Chi in 23-58. What a pop there, as far as having the Young Bucks getting the win. Juice did, he was the same rating as Matt Jackson, just Tai Chi not on that level, unfortunately. 82 here for Katsuya Kitamura and the Great Okan. United Rage beating House of Torture. An upset, but at least Okan, best guy in the match, get them with the Cobra Clutch over Jay White. Massive win for the Great Okan. And 86 for a main event matchup between tag team champions, Order of Destruction. Romu Takahashi, best guy in the match. Naito, the worst guy in the match. I think he was really off his game. Probably should have took the fall there instead of Hiromu. But Hobbs with the Doomsday Plunge over Hiromu. Big time win. Big time win for the Order of Destruction. We're rolling now. What a win. What a main event. We'll take a look at the standings now. As it's hard to believe that we are now just 2 weeks out of being out of 2023 when we are at, of course, day 11 of 2023 in real life here, as you're seeing this, as we're a week and a half in, literally at the halfway point. But this has been a hell of a tournament, though, so far. This has definitely exceeded my expectations, even. After 6 days of action, Jay White and Miro, even though they just had their first loss, still in the lead, obviously. Hiromu and Naito and the Order of Destruction with 8 points behind the Jay White Miro team. Golden Ace was 6. Court of Justice was 6. Kingdom of Strong Style was 6. Very interesting that both the Young Bucks, United Rage, and Dragon's Den don't have more than the Kingdom of Strong Style. Lucha Brothers, tough break. Started off strong. Ran into some injury problems. They've ran into some good teams. Obviously, it's a bit of a transitional period for them. Takes a little bit to get used to, but once you get into the heavyweight scene, they'll obviously be a tough team to face. In the future, it's on to day 7. We go. Alright, day 7. Backstage incident. It's Jeff Cobb. Oh, at least this time At least he just didn't join the rest of the locker room for a night out, as the judge Hiroshi Tanahashi found him guilty and sentenced to buy drinks after the show. Way to go, Cobb. As, for this main event, for day 7, probably, Jay White and Miro versus Hiromu and Naito as the tag champions win the slippery slide of House of Torture. Jay White losing another one as Naito beating Jay White. Tough break there, and that has really opened up the door for LIJ, the tag team champions, to be in the finals just with that win alone. But we'll see how the Order of Destruction do against the Lucha Brothers, which they do win. So that has really opened up the door for a very, very important final couple of days for both those two teams. Young Bucks versus United Rage. Look at the Great Okan getting a win. United Rage beating the Young Bucks. Holy shit. And it's set for Steal the Show too, which is interesting. But yeah, this should probably be a little bit higher actually. Golden Ace versus Dragon's Den. Golden Ace getting the win over Dragon's Den as Tanahashi beating Kyle O'Reilly. Poor Kyle. He's just been the worst guy 9 times out of 10 in most of these matches. Just unfortunate. Yeah, we're going to change that. I think Kingdom of Strong Style, they've had a fun little run, but we're going to give Juice a win. He's going to beat Hammerstone. Actually, Devin beat Cobb. Yeah, Devin. But, of course, former Liberty United man in Juice Robinson. Don't turn to the dark side. And beating Jeff Cobb. I can't believe Jeff Cobb's upset about that. That is nuts. But yay high. Oiwa. We're giving Oiwa a good opportunity here as far as, obviously, he has been very, very talented in his Young Lion run. We're finally going to give him a nice little matchup here against Yay High in 16 minutes. Technical Masterclass matchup, giving really both those guys an opportunity to showcase their skills. But more so in Oiwa, as we run the Amino Value Hall for day 7. And here we go. 64 for the opener. Yay High and Oiwa, 57s, 56s. It's Fred Yeh with the Koji Clutch. Not bad at all. 67 for Cobb and Hammerstone against Tai Chi and Juice. Obviously, Juice, best guy in the match. Getting the one with the Pulp Friction over Jeff Cobb. I still can't believe Jeff Cobb was complaining about that finish. And 80 for the Bucks and United Rage. Probably going to give it to the Young Bucks there, and it probably would have been no big deal, but the United Rage team keeps on winning as Okan with another Cobra Clutch win, and 81 for Ibushi and Tanahashi against Kyle O'Reilly and Ayo Tamura. Texas Clover Relief win for Tanahashi over Kyle O'Reilly there. Nice stuff. 88 for the Order of Destruction against Lucha Brothers. Will Hobbs beating Pentagon Jr. with the Doomsday Plunge. Nice win there. Tankman with an 82, though. Nice to see. It's good stuff. Yeah, obviously just sucks Pentagon Jr.'s injury kind of threw off their entire run. And another 88 for our main event. Jay White Miro losing to Naito and Hiromu as Naito the Destino over Jay White. Yeah, right team wins. Good matchup, good main event, good co-main. What a show, though. An 86 for the tour show section of the Tag League. We are rolling. Just 2 more days left of the tournament. Days 8 and 9. Jay White and Miro seem to be slipping, but they still have enough to at least maybe potentially get that last spot. But losing to the tag champions definitely has opened up a lot to be concerned about. And we'll see how the tournament ends out. Alrighty, day 8. Backstage incident. Satoshi Koji passing on microphone work to Hayato Tamura. I mean, major, we all know it, is Jay White and Miro. They're going to hang on. What's going to happen with this Dragon's Den Order Destruction matchup, and of course the tag champions against United Rage. We'll just have this be the main event, because I think this is a fun little matchup. But Naito's going to get the win for his tag team championship team, and they will jump up in points with that, obviously. Lucha Brothers versus Jay White and Miro. Pentagon Jr. beats Jay White. Oh my god, the slippery slope continues for House of Torture. And that will, of course, mean Order of Destruction Dragons, and that's the opportunity they need. But they will lose. Dragon's Den will get the win over the Order of Destruction. Seiya Tamura is going to get the win for his team. So now, 12 points for Hiromu and Naito. 10 points for Jay White and Miro, and 10 points still for the Order of Destruction. So that will mean Golden Ace have a golden opportunity, no pun intended, to jump up to 10 points. And that will also give the Court of Justice, crazy to think they have 8 points right now, but they could jump up to 10 potentially as well. Major. Absolutely major. Which, speaking of, and of course, Golden Ace jumping up to 10. So now, of course, to go back to this. So, with Golden Ace with 10. Of course, they lost to both Jay White and Miro, and they also lost to the Order of Destruction team. So they have the tie-breaking losses to them. Order of Destruction, they, of course, still have to, as far as they only have with the Court of Justice left, and for Jay White and Miro, they have the Lucha Brothers left. Oh, no, they don't have the Lucha Brothers left, excuse me, they have the Dragon's Den team left. So that's going to come down to that, as far as, will the Court of Justice get up to 10? Will the Order of Destruction make it to 12? Of course, we know Hiromu and Naito, they have punched their ticket in with that 12-point major. Absolutely major. Which is fascinating, because also Hiromu and Naito, as far as they, of course, end up losing to Order of Destruction, but they, of course, beat that Golden Ace team. So it's just so fascinating how this all has kind of came together. But the Court of Justice losing to Golden Ace, and then Hammerstone and Cobb, Young Bucks. Young Bucks are going to get the win over the Kingdom of Strong Style, which makes sense. And to open up the show, Fujinami versus Kosai Fujita. It's Fujinami getting the win there, obviously, over the Young Lion. Just major. Just absolutely major how this is all playing out. We want to keep Kanto, obviously, open for as much as we can. I think it's going to be time to run the Hiroshima Sun Plaza, though. Yeah. For sure. Sucks how bad Japan has fallen, though, as far as, with all, like, the, as far as them interested in wrestling, and also just the overall economy. But a 54 for the opener, Fujinami getting the win over Kosai Fujita, double underhook suplex in 16 minutes. Decent little opener. There's Cobb and Hammerstone losing to the Young Bucks. Meltzer Driver from the Bucks over Hammerstone and Cobb. 76 for the Golden Ace team over the Court of Justice, as Juice Robinson losing the High Fly Flow. Probably should have been Tai Chi, but it is what it is. An 80 for Pentagon Jr. Ray Phoenix over Miro and Jay White. What a win for Pentagon Jr. Cross armbar over Jay White. Jay White struggling, though. He has been slipping, and the pressure's on now. Doesn't want to bottle it. It's him and Miro. And a 76 for Dragon's Den versus the Order of Destruction. Tamura and Kyle O'Reilly beating the Order of Destruction, as Tankman losing to the Seattle Driver in 26-24. It's an 80 for Hiromu and Naito over the United Rage team. Naito with a Destino. Great win. Not a tremendous night, but a decent night, I would say. And we all know how it's got to end. It comes down to the final night. So many variables are going on. So many teams vying for those 2 spots. Really the 1 spot, because I would like to safely assume that LIJ are going on to the finals. So this is massive. Absolutely massive to see how this is going to play out. And it comes down to this. Alright, we get to find out who will be the teams in the finals. Backstage incidents, as it's just Eugene the guy passing on microphone work to the Great Okan. Never mind. Nothing too crazy. As the main event. Now, what should be the main event? Probably this Bucks Hiromu Naito matchup, which the Bucks will win. What a major win for the Young Bucks there. I know they're going to finish a little short of double-digit points, but you get the win over the tag team champions, so that is nice to have. As then we got to see the Dragon's Den versus Jay White and Miro. Interference from House of Black. Tyler Black, Malachi Black are going to attack Jay White, causing the interference, and Hayato Tamura is going to get the win because of that interference. Unbelievable. Golden Ace versus Hammerstone and Cobb. Golden Ace win, so that has opened up the door for them. What's going to happen? Is it going to be the Order of Destruction beating the Court of Justice? No, it is not. Justice get the win. The Court of Justice win with Juice beating either Will Hobbs or Calvin Tankman. We'll see who gets the win there. So that will mean our finals are Golden Ace versus Hiromu and Naito. Very interesting to see how that plays out. As then we'll have United Rage Lucha Brothers. Lucha Brothers will lose. Great-O-Khan and Katsuya Kitamura are going to get the win, which they're going to finish with about 8 points. Not bad at all. 9 points for the Young Bucks. 10, of course, for Order of Destruction. 12 for Hiromu and Naito. 10 for the Court of Justice. And, of course, 12 for Golden Ace. Incredible. I thought it was very in 8 for Dragon's Den. Pretty close when you really think about it. How many teams are just a win away from really changing a lot as far as how this tournament would have played out. But I'm super pleased with how it all played out. And then Brody Lee, Black Taurus versus AJ Styles and Roderick Strong, because Brody Lee and AJ Styles will have a New Japan Strong Openweight title matchup on this final show, which Brody Lee is going to beat Roderick Strong in a Technical Masterclass matchup. And, yeah, I think I'm going to go to the Convention Center for this one. Yeah, I think that's the best bet there. So it's crazy to think we ran day 2 here, and there should be, a little bit more people there than normal. I guess we could maybe run somewhere else, though. I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, we haven't ran the Professional Sports Center. Here we go, 71 for the opener. It's Black Taurus, Brody Lee, beating Roderick Strong and AJ Styles, even though they have great chemistry. You have the slight upset, Brody with the big boot over Roderick Strong. At least he outperformed him there. Obviously not playing into their strengths in Brody and Black Taurus, but still a fun little matchup. 80 for the next matchup. Great-O-Khan and Katsuya Kitamura beating the Lucha Brothers as the Great-O-Khan with the Corporal Clutch win over Ray Fenix. What a win for the Great-O-Khan. 77 for Hobbs and Tankman against Juice Robinson and Taichi as Juice with the Pulp Friction over Calvin Tankman, blowing their chance to being in the finals. 81 for Golden Ace in Hammerstone and Cobb as the Dragon Suplex on Hammerstone by Tanahashi in 2021. What a win for Golden Ace. 80 for Dragon's Den versus Jay White and Miro as the House of Black interference causing the loss and costing House of Torture majorly because of that. Talk about an all-time bottle drop, though, for Jay White and Miro. Had the lead basically after 6 days and blew it after that. Tough break. Absolutely tough break there. And that, of course, means the Young Bucks, even though they beat Hiromu and Naito, they're still moving on to the finals. It's Nick Jackson pinning Hiromu with the Meltzer driver. Major. Absolutely major to see there. And we know our finals. Our finals are set. Hiromu Naito versus Golden Ace. We also are going to have Bryan Danielson versus Josh Alexander for the U.S. title. And also going to see a New Japan Strong Openweight title matchup between Brody Lee and AJ Styles. That should be a hell of a main event, though, with those two involved. And, man, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all plays out. Because this is going to be quite the finals here for the World Tag League. That is for sure. Alright, the Tag League Finals. Of course, New Japan World. Got backstage on Shibata passing on Psychology to SB Kento. Hell yeah. We will, of course, be running the Tokyo Dome. It's a shame that we cannot run, like, the National Stadium or anything now. Because, we could. But just the Tokyo Dome would make more sense now. Because the economy, the wrestling industry, it's all gone to shit. Gone to shit. So, main event, of course. Golden Ace versus Hiromu and Naito. Zabushi going to get the win for the Golden Ace team. Your 2023 Tag League winner. And we'll have a rematch of this, which is exciting to think about. So, Hiromu and Naito. I think what would be fun to do. Because Hiromu and Naito, of course, they loss to the Order of Destruction and the Young Bucks. So you have that. And of course, Golden Ace, they lost to the Order of Destruction. But they did beat the Young Bucks. So, it would probably make sense to have a 2v2v2 matchup at the Wrestle Kingdom show. I would say that makes a lot of sense, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So, post-show, we see the Celebration post-show World Tag League Finals. Gets interesting, we'll just say. As we'll say, gets put on blast instead. Gets put on blast. By the Order of Destruction. Perfect. As they're celebrating, as far as Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, celebration gets cut short. As Will Hobbs, Calvin Tankman, they throw down the gauntlet. They throw down the challenge. And it is made. The match is made. It is not just going to be Hiromu and Naito and Golden Ace. Now we'll have a third team involved. Triple threat tag team matchup set for Wrestle Kingdom. Awesome. I think that's going to be super fun to see. And that just made, I think, as far as a lot more, I think that's going to make for a much more jam-packed co-main event, instead of doing that match 3 times in the span of, a month, if that. I kind of also want to change the venue. I don't think we should run Kanto. I think we should run either the Osaka Dome. I think that's the perfect place. Yeah, let's run the Osaka Dome, actually, for this. Now I'm thinking about it. That way, we can get the most we can out of Wrestle Kingdom. So there we go. We are set, as far as from that perspective. Now for the rest of the card, as we are back to the co-main event. Josh Alexander, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson gets the win over Josh Alexander, making that 11 successful defenses. So we'll have that be Chono. As his post-show press conference, asking what's left. He's beaten everybody there is to beat, he feels like. But there is one man he has not faced. And there's not one man he hasn't beaten yet. And that is Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata interrupts the press conference. Talks about how, he thought his career was over, of course, on that faithful Sakura Genesis night. And it says, this belt, that U.S. title, U.S. is become his second home. What he's done with the dojo, it helped reinvigorate him and helped give him the strength and energy to come back. And he thinks that will be a great way to start off his final year as a professional wrestler. So, dropping the bombshell. It's Katsuyori Shibata saying that's his final year, 2023. It is the retirement tour for Katsuyori Shibata. He's ending it on his terms, he says, and thinks that being the U.S. champion to start off the year is going to be massive, and thinks that this will be the year of the wrestler, and it starts with beating Bryan Danielson. It's a major matchup set for Wrestle Kingdom, and just some major fucking news, too, as far as to think about from that perspective. So I just realized that is set as a post-show match. That's kind of funny how that's, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Glad I caught that. Not gonna have been embarrassing, but there we go. Then Zack Sabre Jr., Drew Gulak versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Alex Shelley, of course, building to the Wrestle Kingdom main event. Nakamura beating Drew Gulak in 24 minutes. Oh, also, I forgot, this should be ahead of it, actually. Brody Lee, Brody Lee and AJ Styles for the New Japan Strong Openweight title matchup. And Brody Lee wins in 24 minutes, the new champion. Of course, AJ and the Bucks dethroned the Order of Destruction with Brody Lee, so it only makes sense that he gets some revenge in some way. But he's not done now. As a post-show press conference for the new champion. Well, we'll just say Dark Order, because it's also, Order of Destruction, but him as well for Brody. As a Will Hobbs, Calvin Tankman. It's Brody Lee. We're going to kick off the new year with a bang. He says, I want everybody in the back to listen up to this, talking about this post-show press conference. I'm throwing out the gauntlet. This belt is going to be on the line. Come Wrestle Kingdom. We're having a championship scramble matchup. Open to anybody. Open invitational. I want the biggest, I want the baddest, I want the best in this championship scramble match. Bring it, type of thing. As far as he wants to be the best, and he wants to prove that the Dark Order's the best. So it's open to everybody, anybody, everybody. Winner takes all type of thing. So that's going to be fun to have that matchup, a scramble matchup, something different as well for Wrestle Kingdom. That should be fun. Chaos versus LIJ 6-man tag. Okada, Doring, and Rocky Romero versus Sonata, Shingo, and Bushi. Of course, building up with Sonata and Okada, but also there's another post-show press conference involving this matchup. It is Joe Doring. And Joe Doring bringing out Ashina for his press conference. It says, listen, they fucked us by not including us into this tag league. Because you all know we would have won it. But because this man had some gold, we're not included in the tag league. But you know what? And he's just thinking about, I beat you. Talking about to Ashina. I beat you during the G1 when you were the heavyweight champion. Never got my title match. You got some new gold now. That never-weight title. Let's make it official. Let's find out who's the best between us at the biggest stage. And then, after that night, who's ever the tag team champions? Y'all better be ready, because the best tag team in New Japan are coming for you to start off the year. So, just, pretty straightforward stuff. We'll find out who's the best between those two. And going forward, they're looking to become tag team champions. So, a bit of a two birds, one stone type of press conference for Joe Doring. So, got a lot popping. Got a lot happening, though. A lot of press conferences to go through. But I think that's the last one, though, actually. So, now we have House of Black, House of Torture, 8-man tag. House of Torture going to get the win, as Miro's going to beat El Kukui. This is, of course, this happened at Royal Quest. So, a rematch of that. And, nice stuff there. Mexa Blood versus United Empire. Of course, we're going to have Mexa Blood of Ryu Lee and Samurai Del Sol against United Empire. Steal the Show matchup as Mascara Dorada going to beat Lee Moriarty. Steal the Show matchup, of course, he's taking on Kushida at Wrestle Kingdom. Big stuff there. And then the opener, Court of Justice, Kingdom of Strong Style. Tai Chi's going to beat Kaji D'Amato in 17 minutes. That is the show. Think we're set. Think we are set to run it. Here we go. 64 for the opener. Not a great opener, but it, as far as the Court of Justice has been a fun little thing to have, and it's been fun. It's been fun to see them kind of coming together. I think they're still some pieces away from being elite, but they're getting there. But Tai Chi beating Kaiji D'Amato the Tai Chi clutch. Yeah, Cobb and Tai Chi and Kaiji D'Amato all tied for being the worst. Hanare and Juice Robinson being the best in that matchup. 80 for the 6-man tag of Mexa Blood in United Empire. Springboard Dragon Rana from Dorada over Lee Moriarty in 1406. Dorada with an 80. That's great stuff to see. Makabe with an 86, though. That is fantastic. Ryu Lee with an 84. Just a great little junior 6-man there. Talented fuckers in that matchup. 8-man tag, the rematch. House of Torture getting the win as Miro tapping out El Cuckoo at the game over. As Miro with a 79, 77 for Tyler Black, 75 for Jay White. Robbie Eagles with 67, 64 for Ishimori. That's good stuff all around, I would say. 85 for the 6-man of Okada, Doring, and Rocky against Bushi, Shingo, and Sonata. Joe Doring really off his game, though. So he gets the win, though, with the Revolution Bomb over Bushi. Bushi outperformed him. So there is that. Bushi's fucking tremendous, though. It's kind of crazy how good he is with how little we've given him, unfortunately, in this save. So 89 for the tag matchup between Zack Sabre Jr. and Drew Gulak against Shelley and Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, though, tapping out Gulak with the cross arm bar. Great stuff there from Nakamura. And Zack Sabre Jr. is good stuff. 92 and 90 there. Not bad at all. 83 for the New Japan Strong Openweight title matchup. Brody Lee is your winner with the running big boot in 23:52. Good stuff there. AJ was off his game, though, unfortunately. But Brody gets the win and is the new champion. 82 for United States title matchup as Bryan Danielson getting with the LaBelle lock. His 11th defense. His 10th challenger, though. This is a rematch. They've had a match before. But Bryan Danielson getting the win. No surprise there. He just keeps on racking up wins left and right. A 99 for our main event. God bless him. Phenomenal matchup as Ibushi pinning Naito with the Phoenix Plex. It is your Tag League winners. Unreal that we're going to add another team to this matchup as well in the Order of Destruction, which I think they will do very well in that matchup as well. Post-show press conference with the Dark Order. Of course, Brody Lee issuing out the Championship Scramble matchup. Open to all comers. Doring and Ashino for the Never Weight title is set. And then Bryan Danielson, Katsuri Shibata for the U.S. title is set. My God. We got every match basically lined up but one or two matches, which we will reveal in the next episode, of course, which is the Wrestle Kingdom episode, but also, as far as we are going to have some road to Tokyo Dome, well, probably National Stadium if I had to guess. If we can book the National Stadium, that'd be great. We really got saved, though. I thought for sure this card was going to be shit once we were seeing the 83s and 82s from these title matches, but thank God the main event delivers in a big way. We know the main event. We now know as far as almost every title match will be added, has been added, in some capacity or another. There's one that we haven't announced yet, but I'm sure it's the Never Open 6-man tag team title matchup, the new champions in Rushmore. We do have a match lined up for them. We're just, waiting to announce it. And we are set, though. It's going to be a 10-match card. I'm super excited to see how it all plays out. I think it's going to be a banger of a show. Hopefully, it kicks off our year in a fantastic way. And, of course, we have the Rumble as well, the New Japan Rumble. So that should be fun as well. We got to put over the people in the main event, though. Kota Ibushi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Hiromu. They were all fantastic to make that a 99. Thank you all for watching. I know a bit of a slight delay in what we usually upload. It's going to be a little later than normal, which is unfortunate, but just kind of things happened. But hopefully we can get this up before the Dynamite show. Because my God, Bryan Danielson, Konosuke Takeshita is happening on that show. Pretty excited to see that, as I usually haven't gotten the jitters yet for wrestling in a hot minute. But that's got me interested. The fucking New Japan Noah show's got me interested. We're coming back, we're getting back into the swing of things with, I think, as far as, from that perspective, we're having some, and now, the goddamn Amazon Echo going off to end us out here. Thank you all again. We'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.